Bessant, Chinese vice premier, to meet with China to diffuse escalation of U.S. tariffs. Okay, so this is the meeting that they're talking about with Bessant. Trump calls 157% China tariffs not sustainable ahead of planned G meeting in South Korea. But yeah, so here's Trump first, and then we'll go to Bessant, Rob, if you want to do that. Do you have it?
I do. Here it is, 157% tariffs unsustainable.
Yeah, go for it.
If you put that 100% tariff on top of what's in place already, you're talking about 157% tariff on China. Can that stand?
No.
I mean, what is that going to do to the economy?
It's not sustainable, but that's what the number is. It's probably not, it could stand, but they forced me to do that. I think we're going to do fine with China. I get along great with him. He's a very strong leader, a very, amazing man. You look at what he's done and what he's, where his life is an amazing story. It's a story for a great movie. I think we're going to be fine with China, but we have to have a fair deal. It's got to be fair. And
okay, go back to Bessant, Rob. Go back to Bessant.
China did a substantial, unprovoked escalation last week. We were unable to get in touch with them. Since then, it's been IMF World Bank Week. They have had working level people here who there have been meetings. The vice premier, who is my counterpart, and I will be speaking this evening at around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then he and I and a delegation will meet in Malaysia probably a week from tomorrow to prepare for the two presidents to meet. So I think that things have de-escalated. We hope that China will show the respect that we have shown them. And I am confident that President Trump, because of his relationship with President Xi, will be able to get things back on a good course.
Is the hope for that meeting with you and President Xi some kind of trade deal then? Or
could be.
More
Look, I think we're in a very strong position.
Tom, thoughts?
Well, I love this because once again we have Witkoff in the Middle East, and now we have Bessant, which is very reliable team and maneuvering into a good position. And all the stuff that Trump said last week about what China was doing with rare earth minerals. By the way, that's what we're going to hear. Taiwan, chips, rare earth minerals. Those are the top of the list for the deal because that's going to help EVs around the world. That's going to help the U.S. and where we're at. And it's also going to turn down the heat. And so Trump has turned up the heat. And it isn't interesting. He doesn't mention anything about China's position. What does he say? I think Xi's had an amazing guys have had an amazing life. They can make a movie about it. Look at what he's accomplished. He didn't lose any negotiating points there. He is very skillfully preparing for his conversation while he's letting Bessant get ready to go to Malaysia to meet the counterparts. And there's one thing you know about China, they are very procedural and intentional. So, okay, you be procedural and intentional. Let's get together. Let's talk about these points. I'll see you in Malaysia, and we'll see where we can make it go. But what we saw from the reduced numbers in India, it's also happening in China. And they want to, even as they play the long game, they want some restoration here. And I think we're going to see some of it. Is it going to be a perfect deal in 10 minutes? No. But is it going to be progress? Yeah, I think so. And I think that the president and his lieutenants and the people in his cabinet are out there getting W's for the president. And the president deserves credit for those, for the team he's put in place, and then how he's going to finish these deals.
I think it's awesome, Pat, too. Like, I know we laughed a little bit. Like, you notice that's so freaking Trump, and you nailed it with the art of the deal. He's like, yeah, he's great. He's a good guy, even though he's freaking obviously a dictator and all that stuff. And he's like, could be in a movie. Because Tom, they're going to go to Xi and be like, hey, President Trump said that you could be a movie star. That you could be in a movie. And he's like, you mean like Jackie Chan, like movies? Like, think about it. Those are little points that you're talking about, Tom, that helps that negotiating. Like that's his style, right?
It's skillful. I think we're seeing the art of the deal. And China's going to be watching that and hearing that. And they'll have their own interpretation of it. But we're seeing a president with a capable cabinet out there getting W's and getting stuff done.
Adam.
Well, I'm not on the same page with what you guys mentioned regarding Trump's strategy here, because I believe that China is a completely different strategy than what you would have to bust out in the Middle East or in Russia, Ukraine. I mean, the Middle East, if you use that as an example, it's sort of like the machismo, the bravado actually works, where you can kind of play on people's emotions and sense of ego. You can use the tough guy thing with Putin because he responds to aggression and power. China's a completely different beast. There's long terms, they're strategic, they're pragmatic. I don't think that they're running on emotion. I think China is very logical, and they're willing to actually put their people, who they completely control, in a world of pain, because I think she's chairman for life. I don't think that they have as much of a incentive to move as Middle East or even as Putin. Regarding the minerals, I hear about the minerals. By the way, when we have research, the least sexy thing to do is look at rare earth minerals and cobalt and lithium, all that stuff. But to me, it all made sense, because if you go to what the periodic table of elements is, if you could show that, Rob, our whole concern is, all right, these are all the rare earths out there, all the elements. I was half asleep in biology in science class when I was learning about this, but this is what woke me up, that next image. The biggest concern is when all these elements are owned by China. That, to me, is a concern. And this image is very easily found on the internet, because a lot of people have been saying, oh, guys, if you want to know what China's doing, they're trying to control everything here. And a lot of this is important for our technology, for our defense, for our infrastructure. And if they can basically turn off the fuse, just like they're considering doing in Europe, that's very problematic. So this whole decoupling of China and ending this relationship, I don't see us decoupling. I don't see, hopefully, any military actions, but we're definitely in sort of a Cold War, if not the temperature being heat up right now. But this China,
Tom, you look
Russia.
like you want to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. You said you disagreed with this, and I don't really hear disagreement. I don't think the strategy in China is the same. I didn't say that. I think the president's got great people that are in position that are lining up with the needs of certain negotiations. And China plays a long game, and you can't go in there the way you would with Putin.
Okay.
But I think we're getting W's and we're getting progress. Look at the progress on India. The numbers come out, and all of a sudden Modi's talking about who he is and isn't buying oil from. And the Indians, go look at chapter 1 back in March, April. They dug in on round 1. And now they seem to be back with moderating where they're buying oil. Well, and I think that's a W. And I love the fact that it doesn't only take Trump. I think he's leading it, but he's got great people that are out there getting the job done.
Well, I agree. I trust Trump's instincts. I trust Bessant. I trust these guys. I'm just simply saying that China's a different beast. And it's amazing that we can pivot to China at this point, get the Middle East nonsense out of the way, and completely pivot to China. And if we can somehow end the Russia-Ukraine war and then completely full attention to China, that's even better for America.
I think it's pretty telling that we have a president who's able to negotiate with very different people in very different ways and put the team in place to do it. And I love it.
You know, it's amazing sometimes when you have a very, very strong personality like the president does, you tend to attract the area where it's not necessarily your strength, but attract the same level of toughness or whatever approach that you have. Meaning, notice how gentle Bessant is, right? Do you notice how Bessant, how he is?
Smooth.
Yeah,
He's
very
chill.
smooth. Notice how Kushner is, okay? Do you see how
Cool as a
Kushner is?
cucumber.
Yeah.
Notice how, a lot of these guys, how they are, okay?
Yeah.
Their temperament. It's a very, very interesting place of where they are. And I think when it comes down to making tough deals, that's not the same with like Cash is
Oh, yeah.
energetic.
bombastic, yeah.
It's not everybody that's like that. Howard Lutnick, massive personality. He's a doer himself. Howard probably sees himself as somebody that could be a president if he wanted to go there. He thinks very
kind of
highly of
tough
himself.
New York banker.
He is. Yeah, it's exactly what he is. But I think with these sensitive deals like Qatar, Israel, you need the Kushners and Witkoff. China, you need somebody like a Bessant to go and do his part. And who's going with him? Who's going with, is it JD? Is it JD and Bessant going? Who do,
To where?
There was one
China.
not
Is
going,
it
but that they're
presidents?
having a
I want to
conversation.
say,
and
I want to say
Witkoff.
yes. I read in one of the stories that JD will be with Bessant.
Yeah, I thought so as well. So temperament matters. The bigger the deals are, and it looks like they're making progress. All I know is when the China announcement is made, imagine how the market's going to respond that day. When the announcement is made, Tom, how do you think the market will respond? 1% day, 3% day, 5% day? What do you think the market does?
Depending on what has happened, if the previous day was like a little bit down, you could have a 3.5%.
I agree.
day.
That's what I think.
But I think you're going to have a 1.5. I'll put my handicap on 1.5 to 2% day if there is a strong announcement about
That's a sudden
real,
announcement. If it's an announcement of it's coming, staggering, like for 3
Yeah.
weeks, then it's going to be 0.2%, 0.8%, 0.6%. But if it's a sudden one day, it could be a 1.5 to 3.5
We've come to a
announcement.
deal on the following three things.
Yep, 2026 is going to be a magical year, and I'm convinced most people are going to screw it up. Most people are not going to have the right plans in place. Most people are going to wing it going into 2026. And my biggest suggestion to you is whatever you're doing, do not wing going into 2026. Whether you're an individual employee, you have a family, wife and kids and family, you got big plans for your family, you want to do something special for them, you're an independent contractor, you're a business owner, you're a government employee, whatever it may be, if there's ever been a year to fully be locked in for a great business plan, it's 25 going into 26. 26 is going to be a 250-year anniversary. Trump turns 80. World Cup's coming to the U.S. Rates are going to probably lower 3 more times in 2026. Stock market's going to open up with IPOs. It's going to be a special year, and a lot of people are going to have a lot of success in 2026. I would like you to do the same as well. However, on December 12th, every year, I do a one-day webinar for business planning. We call it the Business Planning Workshop. I want to show you a video of two people. See if you recognize the two guys and see which one you are when people do business planning. One guy's name is Ernie. One guy's name is Larry. They were both annoying. I loved both of them, but they were annoying in this setting. But I want you to watch and see which one you are, and then I want to encourage you to get registered today for December 12th. Go ahead and play the clip, Rob.
So today I'm looking at 2 business plans. One is by Ernie, whose business plan is purely based on emotion. The other one is Larry, whose business plan is purely based off of logic. You tell me, if you were an investor, who you would invest in, Ernie or Larry?
Okay, guys, so thank you for being here. Ernie, Larry, let's go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Patrick.
So I love the enthusiasm, you're excited, but how are you actually going to do it?
Patrick, this thing is going to be massive. I'm telling you, it's going to make billions and billions of dollars. Don't worry about that right now. I'm just telling you, we're going to dominate the marketplace. Everybody's going to be talking about us. I shared this idea with multiple people in my family. They all love it. Even my grandmother's actually deaf in 1 year. She still got it.
Get out of it.
Yes.
Okay, so that's good, it's promising, but how are you going to present it to investors?
Pat, I'll worry about that later. Just right now, it's about the vibe. It's just going and getting it. People feed off the energy. You don't feel that? Feel that.
Unbelievable.
Look at that. People want that. People invest in that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense.
Actually, Patrick, the market data suggests a 1.7 probability of scale, assuming favorable inflation trends. So, yes, that's where I'm at right now.
What's the vision? Give me the vision long term.
Actually, Patrick, that's where I wear the glasses. I really don't have good vision, but I ran 47 simulations, and none of them support anything that you were talking about earlier about gut feelings and anything like that. So.
Is there any plans to disrupt an industry? Like, does that excite you? Do you have the right people around you on the team?
Patrick, people equal problems. I trust Excel spreadsheet more than I trust people. So
Makes sense. Listen, I wish you nothing but the best.
thank you. So we're done?
We're fully done, yes.
Can I update my sheet? I'm leaving early. I can go home and play with my cats. Thank you, Patrick.
Hey.
So the truth is, we just saw all emotion Ernie, and we just saw all logic Larry, right? The reality of it is, I've been doing business plans for the last 25 years, tens of thousands of business plans with people. The truth is, you need both. You need emotion for fire. You need logic for clarity and plan. This is why once a year, I host an event called the Business Planning Workshop. It's the only virtual event that we do that anybody from around the world can come and log into this one here. You get a 200-page manual based on 12 building blocks on how you can write a business plan to make 2026 the beginning of the greatest years of your life. If you, your team, your spouse, you guys haven't registered yet, click on the link below, get registered. Cannot wait to spend an entire day with you on December 12th of this year. I'll see you there.
All right, so we're going to put the link below, Rob, for people to go ahead and get reregistered. Ernie was fantastic, but I kind of like Larry more. Larry, to me, was a little nerdy, exciting guy to be around. But Rob, what's the website to get registered for people that are just listening in?
bpw.betdavidconsulting.com. The link is also in the description and pinned to the chat.
Beautiful. There you go. bpw.betdavidconsulting.com. TariffsTradeDeal.com. Get registered. Watch it with your team. Watch it with your family. Looking forward to spending December 12, 2025 this year with you. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.